Jensen Huang said about Blackwell. Listen to this.
The change to the mask is complete. There were no functional changes necessary. And so we're sampling functional samples of Blackwell, Grace Blackwell, in a variety of system configurations as we speak.
This video dives into the latest earnings report from Nvidia, one of the biggest players in the tech industry, and explores the key insights from an exclusive interview with Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang. The discussion centers on the company's revenue forecast, which, while beating general market expectations, fell short of the highest predictions. This caused some concerns among investors about whether Nvidia's explosive growth is slowing down. The video touches on the impact of Nvidia's Blackwell chips, which are set to be a significant revenue driver, but questions remain about their production challenges. We also hear from industry experts like Bloomberg semiconductor correspondent Ian King and analyst Gil Luria from D.A. Davidson. They provide deeper context around Nvidia's financial performance, the company's transition to a new product cycle, and how investors are reacting. Additionally, they explore whether Nvidia's massive market dominance in AI and data centers is sustainable, as other tech giants like Google and Amazon develop their own competitive chips. Lastly, the video discusses Nvidia's influence on the broader market, especially in AI and semiconductor sectors. Despite a slight drop in after-hours trading, Nvidia continues to be a major player, with the demand for GPUs still strong among tech giants like Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. The video gives viewers a comprehensive breakdown of Nvidia's future potential and how it's positioned within the evolving tech landscape.
Jensen Huang said about Blackwell. Listen to this.
The change to the mask is complete. There were no functional changes necessary. And so we're sampling functional samples of Blackwell, Grace Blackwell, in a variety of system configurations as we speak.
The stock's down almost 7% in after hours, have been down more at the conclusion of the call. I think basically because we didn't learn enough about Blackwell. What they said was in the fiscal fourth quarter of fiscal year 25, there will be several $1 billion of sales through Blackwell. Why does the market want more, and what does it want?
They wanted a reassurance from NVIDIA's management, and they wanted reassurance in the form of details. They wanted, Jensen to put his arm around everybody and say, don't worry, it'll be fine, this is how much I'm going to get. They were asked questions of how many billions, and when will those billions exactly come in. And Colette Kretz, the CFO, and Jensen Huang essentially avoided that question and refused to give that precise reassurance.
And some of these stocks have been moving up so much. There have been sort of kind of growing calls about their valuation, some concerns about that. I don't know if this is the kind of absolute blowout that will just, cause people to continue piling into the way that they were doing earlier this year.
There is a lot in the news cycle, inclusive of and outside of Nvidia. I think one of the names that you note in after hours is Supermicro. It's down significantly. There's an Nvidia relationship to that, and then there's the news around that name in and of itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So we saw yesterday a short report came out. Today it's delaying the filing of its 10K. Both of those caused us a weakness in the stock. I think today it was down more than double digits. So, a lot of reasons to be concerned there in general, and it is one of NVIDIA's biggest customers. I think it's the third largest. So, this is just another reason for people who might have been kind of souring on Supermicro to, maybe be pulling the sell button a little bit.
Relative bears, D.A. Davidson's Gil Luria had a neutral rating and a street low $90 price target on shares of Nvidia. He joins us now. And Gil, I guess, does that change your bearish perspective on the stock and your main takeaway from the analyst's call?
The quarter was a very good quarter. Their ability to continue to grow, delivering chips at this rate, at this scale, is fantastic and unprecedented. I don't think there's much of a revenue issue here, of a growth issue here. I think the little bit of a pushback is probably more around the margin situation. You had a good conversation with Ian about Blackwell and some of the moving pieces. Part of what's happening with Blackwell, it's a new product. It's got a few hitches along the way. That put pressure on gross margins. To believe in Nvidia right now is to believe 2026 calendar is going to be about $200 billion of revenue and about $4.50 to $5 of earnings. That's only possible if they continue to get this type of growth on the top line and more leverage. And the second part of that equation looks a little less certain right now.
Gil, when you said that $200 billion figure, Bloomberg's Ian King, who's covered semiconductors at this company since 1998, sat next to me still, for what it's worth, gave a little smile. I mean, it's an astonishing figure. I think there's a lot of emphasis here on Blackwell. How did you react to the news of several $1 billion in fiscal fourth with Blackwell and the explanation that this was a production issue impacting the ramp, not a sort of core design issue around the product itself?
So first of all, our estimate is far less than 200 billion for 2026. But
I know, I said you're a relative bear, Gil, and I got that bit right, I think.
In terms of Blackwell, what happened to NVIDIA is they used to be on a 2-year cycle for the data center product, and they decided to aggressively move to a 1-year cycle and then put a lot of new feature functionality and bundle into the Blackwell platform. So that was a very aggressive agenda, and it's not that surprising that there's some challenges that they have to encounter. If they can still ship in their fiscal fourth quarter, that's a very good sign. And by the way, their customers don't really care that much. Their customers are just going to continue to buy the latest and greatest. And if that's the H200, they'll just continue to buy H200. They have made that abundantly clear on their conference calls. Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Elon Musk have made it abundantly clear they'll buy as much GPUs as NVIDIA can produce, at least this year, because they're saying the demand signals are there. As long as the demand signals are there, they'll buy whatever NVIDIA is selling. And towards the end of the year, a piece of that will be Blackwell.
So welcome to this special edition of Bloomberg Technology for our TV and radio audience around the world. Joining me now is Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia, straight from the analyst call. And Jensen, good evening, good afternoon to you. I think the market wanted more on Blackwell. They wanted more specifics, and I'm trying to go through all of the call and the transcript. It seems like, very clearly this was a production issue and not a fundamental design issue with Blackwell. But the deployment in the real world, what does that look like tangibly? And is there a sort of delay in the timeline of that deployment and thus revenue from that product?
Let's see. That's just the fact that I was so clear and it wasn't clear enough kind of tripped me up there right away. And so let's see. We made a mass change to improve the yield. Functionality of Blackwell is wonderful. We're sampling Blackwell all over the world today. We show people, giving tours to people of the Blackwell systems that we have up and running. You could find pictures of Blackwell systems all over the web. We have started volume production. Volume production will ship in Q4. Q4, we will have billions of dollars of Blackwell revenues.
In conclusion, Nvidia continues to be a dominant force in the tech industry, with strong demand for its GPUs and innovative strides in AI and data centers. However, questions around the production challenges of its Blackwell chips and a revenue forecast that fell short of top estimates have raised concerns about whether its rapid growth might be tapering off. With insights from experts like Ian King and Gil Luria, the video offers a deeper understanding of Nvidia's financial standing and how the company is transitioning into a new product cycle. As Nvidia navigates the competitive landscape, its future remains promising, but investor confidence may hinge on how well it adapts to these challenges. The broader implications of Nvidia's performance on the tech and semiconductor sectors are immense, especially with tech giants like Google and Amazon ramping up their own chip production. The video leaves viewers with a comprehensive view of Nvidia's current standing and future prospects. Do you think Nvidia can maintain its dominance in the AI and semiconductor industries despite rising competition? What do you believe will be the key factor in determining Nvidia's success moving forward?